What is up, you guys? The Fallout What If here, and today I'm doing a 5K What If, and actually, it's a bunch of people who I'm going to thank right now, but I'll make it simpler. And if you guys comment down below, I can find out who actually did it. Just if you actually were talking to me about anything that I'm about to say right now, comment down your name, say when you told me this. I will remember, because I don't do all things often. So I also want you guys to be honest about this. I don't want any lying, because I will check, and believe me, I really don't want no one to lie. That's coming from me at times. I say I like this, but it's something else. And also for the, some of you guys were laughing about the whole, like, me doing that one community tab thing, like, who'd you like more? I know the last one, it was kind of, I guess it was a little mean-spirited, and I know you guys probably might saying, oh, that's kind of rude, it's a small channel. It's like, well, small channel, big a-hole. Very big a-hole. I'm not going to say anything else because that's weird itself. So, number one, this is going to be a me what if. Basically, I'm going to be the star of the show. Number two, this is going to be a Ghost Rider what if. And some of you guys have been wondering, when am I going to do a Ghost Rider what if? And now that I have a phone with much more storage, I'm literally going to download, what is it called? 2 minutes. Okay, so one more minute. Basically, I'm going to download a Discord. Going down my Discord. Not only that, that's pretty much it. I'm going to download Discord, and now I have more space to actually do videos and edit them. Because my other phone, I couldn't do nothing with it, to be honest. I kept trying to do it, but at the same time, it was so little, so minuscule. Now that I have so much right here, literally, we can do videos now. Voila. But anyway, I'm going to do that. And not only that, this is going to be a ghost what if. And I know already someone who told me about the what if he had purple flames. I'm actually going to, in honor of him, I'm going to do what if Deku, well, I mean, not what if Deku, what if I had colored flames? So I'm going to have black flames, yellow flames, green flames, gold flames. But at the time, it's going to be in a different what if. But I will do gold and black right now for my character. Also blue by technicality, but there's going to be different reasons why. Gold fire is for healing other people. Black fire is for more of like a teleportation thing. And also black fire is much more hotter. Depending if he wants it to be hot or not. So that's a thing right there. Now, not only that, this is going to be a medieval what if. Well, technically, I'm going to be in the medieval universe first. So, shout out to Dio right there. Diomedes Rouge. Go watch his stuff. It's pretty good. I like it. It's resourceful. Not only that, he's inspired me to do Monster Hunter what ifs. Let's see. Well, technically, yeah, that's pretty much it right there. It's also going to be a My Hero Academia universe. Basically, what if I was the Ghost Rider in My Hero Academia? So yeah. And I'm going to do a short one, but here we go. Long before, I read stories in the past. I've seen stuff before. They talked about these people called riders. And there's these demons around the world who always came in attacking humanity. But certain demon, let's say he was a good one, a good demon. Weird, but a good demon nonetheless. This person became a spirit of vengeance. He decided to revolt against the demons for hurting humanity, learning now realizing his own mistakes, on that humanity itself wasn't evil and it shouldn't be hurt. He stood for the side of the humans and for God. But because he's a demon, he cannot be there. So, give me a second here. Sorry about that, I sneezed. So anyway, I heard the stories. The ghost of vengeance. He was that of the people and that of the good side. He's given his power, his strength, to people in need, to use his transformation as the riders. What I'm trying to say here is, people in different countries, all around the world, at least had their own rider. Due to the fact that there is, let's say, hold on here, there's North America, South America, Europe, Asia, Africa, don't forget Australia, and Antarctica. Well, technically, there's six countries in total, I think. Don't quote me on this, people. But each country had their own rider. And basically, this was divided up so that way demons can be stopped much more faster than just having other people just running around. There were some countries that there was only 2 countries that accepted the riders. One was Japan, and one was just America. Let's just say that right there. Before, no, not America, because that the witching season. Let's say that it was in Mexico at the time. I don't know if Mexico was made. Don't quote me on this, people. Let's just say Cinco de Mayo and, Viva la Muertes was just a thing. So anyway, the other countries, and since I'm going to be in Great Britain, or basically the days of, like I said, medieval times, I was near the place where, I forgot what, just a random country in Europe, and people were at times accused of being the rider due to the fact that they acted different than any other person. They were just always hated. Now this is where I come in. See, I'm going to use a little bit of my actual life. I was always blamed for nothing. My character and my real life, I was always hated. Don't know why. The people just always looked at me as if I was a freak. And at times I couldn't help it. I had ADHD back then. So my character will have it too. Basically, every time we try to find happiness, people usually would look at us and decide to mess with it. Even if we fought back, we would be in trouble. Even when the bullies attacked us, we would be hurt. We basically grew up on despair and torment. While basically my character's parents basically his name is going to be Ivan, because that's my name. So, yeah. Ivan decided to try to make peace with people, but it never worked. But there were some people who looked on him, who always kept saying he probably might do good. But then there were so many others that decided to blame him for nothing. He was always blamed just because. He was always judged because of the fact that he was weirder than others. And during the times when he kept growing up, this kept getting a little bit more harsher. Although he had friends. And how would I say this? There was basically one named Arthur Thornton. And another one named Balabo. It's kind of hard to pronounce it. These people were his friends. They took care of him at times, even when others didn't see that. most times than not, he wouldn't want to be around them due to the sheer fact that if he was near them, others will start to suspect them of just being as weird and try to hurt them. He usually took everyone's pain and just suffered within it. So, at that time, it was nothing much but, how would I say this? Well, it was nothing much that he could do, to be honest. And when he turned into the right old age of 15, let's say 13, he was condemned and trialed. Ivan was looking at all of them and saying, "Please, sir, I am an innocent person. I am not the writer. Please, you must believe me. If that was the case, anyone would have saw me by now." And the people who grew up with him and hurt him and bullied him, they lied and said, "We saw you use fire." And then I would reclaim, "I did not. All I have done was simply done a magic trick, which wasn't even magic at all." Then the judge would say, "Silence. You and those demons. Thinking it's alright to just muck about as you please. We are the people of God. Of God. You are foolish to those... You are a foolish young man who decides they should make a deal with Satan." And I said, "You are a fool, Judge, Your Honor. For you may be loyal to God. I am as well, but I am also loyal to the people who I must care about, and for my countrymen." And he said, "That's enough. Your insolent tone, and the way you look." See, because every time they looked at his face, they decided they had to they basically looked at him upon disgust. And they decided, as for the verdict, how would you plead? I would say not guilty. And then the judge and the people around him say, "What do you think? Is this man innocent or is he guilty?" Everyone besides two people said guilty. And they laughed as if they were demons cloaked in human skin. Don't know how. They were cloaked in sheep. They were wolves in sheep's clothing. That's what he thought. And basically, Arthur Thornton and Babalo looked at Ivan, and then they decided to rebel. These two were killed on the spot. Although they put up a good fight. Believe me, one had a falchion, and one basically used his bare fists. Well, not really. He basically used his gauntlets, but they caused one hell of a fight. But it was no match for people that were coming in and grabbing them. All I could do was just watch as I was chained, crying, and thinking to myself, why? Why did such innocent people, who did nothing but believe in their friend, why must they suffer for my actions? And basically, the people who grabbed me just pulled me by my chain. And as that was happening, I was choking, not being able to breathe, trying my best to grab any kind of source of air. But it wasn't as great as I could predict. All I could do was breathe little breaths. But I was even grateful for that when they grabbed my arms and legs and basically placed me on a cross. They thought that tying him up would somewhat loose would make him break out easily. So they did the one thing that they did to God, well, his son. And then they put nails on me. I, crying out in pain and agony, realized something. There was no way of getting out. I felt as if I should just give up here and there. And then the fire started to burn. I could feel every part of the flame ripping and tearing off my flesh until it stopped. I thought I was dead. I thought I was going to be judged. And this is when I see a man. A man that is wearing nothing but armor and has a skull for a head, covered in flames. And he says, young man, you are not going to die. You are but an innocent child who was cursed upon this world to be hated. And this is when I think to myself, oh boy. Bad enough that a bunch of people are burning me, but now a skull-like head with flames is going to kill me. And here's the thing. The reason why I'm using basically the first one right here, this is going to be the one who taught me a lot. It's going to teach me something within probably 2 years, and then basically I'm on my own. But basically I'm going to be 13 again due to the fact that basically time isn't a concept in the other world. So, he basically turns into his human form and says, hello. My name, well, it's not that easy to pronounce, but it's Hushya. Hushya. And if you hear a car right now, it's basically a jerk that's, going more than the speed limit, so, yay. Anyway, I speak with Hushya, saying, what is happening here? Am I dead? And this is when he says yes and no. You are in the realm of the riders. You see, throughout time, or basically the time right now, over those couple of centuries, we fought for peace due to the fact that there was one demon that fought with us. And since I don't know the name right now, I am just going to say the Spirit of Vengeance, as he's technically really just known as that, except for the riders. But since they're not going to, since it's kind of hard to explain his name, they're just going to say the Spirit of Vengeance. You know why? Because that's much more easier than the name he has. Oh boy, people. So, this is when I say, so what's going to happen to me? And this is when he says, you're going to have another chance. Wait, what? What do you mean I'm going to have another chance? These people are going to recognize me, and I'm going to die. And he says, no. You must have misunderstood me. You're not going in this world. You're going into another world. Well, by technicality, it's going to be a time leap. You see, I'm getting used to the concept myself, but then we found out that there was another one of us, riders, as we usually call it. Basically, we are the ones who are going into, how would I say, we decided to contact him because, how would I explain this? Sorry about that. He says, you are a young, innocent boy. We wouldn't dare dream of just letting you burn. You see, usually they would just kill, and that would be over with. They would be judged. But you were different. You were special. You were like one of us. All of our lives, at least, had something abnormal happened to it. It was as if we were branded for this kind of lifestyle. I just say, I don't know why, but it's true. Then I realized, what about Arthur and Palablo? To be honest, it's basically Lasto and Dio, so, and basically I know both of them. I don't know what Lasto would like, but I don't know what to call him. I'll call him Paul. Yeah, Paul. What of Arthur and Paul? They will be judged. Even though they technically kind of went against the religion thing, you know, a little bit. Because of the fact that they would rather die than let their friend who was innocent, you know, be killed off. They'll be judged, but they will at least, how should I say it? They will be in heaven. Who knows, one day you three will meet. Or at least two, who knows, to be honest. But right now I know that these two are going up there. Us, we're always going to be down here. This is our little sanctuary, as you may call it. Us killing demons and fighting them. It's no picnic, but it's better than, you know, being judged. So anyway, my name is Ivan. Ivan. It's a nice name. It's weird, unusual, but it's a nice one. Tell you what, Ivan. We will speak with this man. And then here comes another Ghost Rider with a weird bike and a skull for a t-shirt. And not only that, basically a little purple baby. Whatever that thing was. And he says, well, I think it's time for us to go. I have not that much time left. So we should hurry up now. And then I just kind of freaked out because there's this guy like that. And then he just comes out and says, sorry about that, kid. It's not that usual to see other riders except for you. So, this is who you want me to take? And Huxia says yes. And this is when he says, hop on, kid. And basically, this is when he just says, are you gonna come or what? Are you coming or what? This is not weird. Okay, this is kind of weird. Are you gonna hop on the bike or what? And this is when I think to myself, well, this guy's intimidating. Not only that, he has some weird weapons and a baby on his back, so it's not too weird. Well, it's weird, but who knows? And this is when he says, I'll see you later, Huxia. I'll see you later, Frank. You both have a good time. Well, 3, whatever that thing is. Yeah, I know, he's going to destroy the universe one day, so I gotta teach him how to be a good kid. So, after that, we basically ride off. And this is when he says, well, you already know who I am. My name is Frank. And you? I'm Ivan. It's a pleasure to meet you, sir. Cut the crap. Come on now. Look, I gotta take you somewhere fast. And there's a place in Japan that probably is going to accept you. Well, technically they're going to accept you due to the fact that these people have these powers. But it's not called powers where they're from. Everyone calls them a thing called quirks. So, I decide I drop you off, give you a fake birth certificate and all that stuff, put you inside of a system, and bang bang boom, you're ready for some action. And this is when I say, okay, So, what are you? My name's Frank, but people call me the Ghost Rider. And this is when I say, yeah, but I don't know anything about the other world. And he says, don't worry, I gotcha. You didn't think I came empty-handed? And this is when he just basically puts his hand on top of my head. And all I see is basically everything that he is showing me. Modern technology and all that stuff, how to use it. I'm basically starstruck. And I think, what is this witchcraft? It's not witchcraft, kid. It's basically... How would I explain it? Well, it ain't witchcraft, but it is cool stuff, huh? This is when I say, yeah, it's magnificent. It's so bizarre. And unhuman. Yes, I know, modern technology's badass. But you'll know that there's some bad people out there in the world already, as I already showed you. By technicality, your country or something like that, well, it's already down the crapper, so it's not too bad. And not only that, who knows? I gotta protect the world myself. Not because I'm a writer, but because I'm... Well, technically my name is Frank. Frank Castle. But anyway, this is going to be your stop. And this is when, basically, everyone just sees a man with a baby and another toddler. And he says, alright, so what's going on? Why is my voice different? Why are my hands little? And basically, I'm looking downstairs as I... If anyone ever watched JonTron, comment down below. But anyway, I see that I'm a toddler. I find out I'm a toddler either way, because I am shorter than all these humans. So I know not everyone has a big quirk where they become gigantic. And basically, I am just running away. And there are some people who already look into the system, and they already showed, oh, guess what? There's this kid now who, for some reason, we never heard of, and he's in our systems. Not only that, he has a weird, basically his name is Ivan. Not only that, we're going to put him here. Okay, he's born on this month of December. And yeah, pretty much all the stuff is just basically all my info is on there. And then I'm like, yay, I'm in this place. Ma'am, what is this place? It's an orphanage, sweetie. Oh, it's an orphanage. And basically, I know what an orphanage is already, just the fact that well, when people die, when parents die, you know, where do they put them? It's not like they sell them or anything like that. That would be too silly. But anyway, I basically look up and... Oh, let me mention this right now. I trained already, but due to the fact that I just wanted to, you know, progress the story. If you guys just want to know, basically, he tells me how to somewhat control fire. But my fire is yellow, like golden yellow, and black. And he's like, whoa, hold on here, kid. Hold on here, young man. That's black flames. We never had that. You gotta be careful with that. We don't know what's happened to that. You may be abnormal, but this is abnormal. We have blue flames, and we also have red flames. You have golden, but which is kind of like the same thing, but at the same time, there's no orange or red. So, you know, it doesn't matter too much, as long as you're okay, kid. So anyway, basically I'm trained into using fire mostly. And that's going to be my thing. A lot of people may say, oh, I thought you were going to be the Ghost Rider. It'll happen soon. Don't worry, people. I got you. So, I basically, am wearing normal kids' clothes, and then I realized, everything in I basically had to study up so much because I was shown the future twice. So I basically got it the first time and had to, study on what is what, which is which, how to use this, how to use that. What's a Tinder profile? How do I use Instagram? What is a Twitter account? And what's Grindr? I'm sorry about that, people. I'm sorry. Just wanted to do that. Anyway, not that, but anyway, it doesn't matter anymore. Anyway, so after all that happens, I just, I'm just chilling. I'm just waiting for a parent to swoop me up. But I'm usually running around outside anyway, working on my swordsmanship. Not only that, working on how to use my shield. Because here's the thing, we're given toys, but since I gotta train again, I gotta learn how to use a sword and basically a chain. How would I say this? I gotta use shit. What is it called? Fudge, I forgot. I gotta use a sword and a shield. Not only that, different weapons, and not only that, I gotta learn how to use a chain. Because for some reason, that is the thing that a lot of people use. A rope. Or an object that's basically flexible. I thought of nunchucks, but at the same time, I know Dio would be thinking to themselves, why? So I thought, no nunchucks. Would be funny, though. But here's the thing. The reason why I wouldn't be able to use chains at first is because of my fear of chains. Because all I just told you was I was crucified and choked while basically they were pulling me. But the thing was, they put chains on my arms and on my legs. So imagine a bunch of people just basically kicking the crap out of you while just making sure you don't run away at all. Not only that, and trying to do that weird medieval torture device where they basically stretch you, and all my joints were basically popped at times. They put me back together just to do it again. So yeah, it's not a very comfortable childhood that I have. Just let's say that right there. So, now that I'm in a place called Japan, which was home to the samurai Ghost Rider, which was pretty cool back then, It's still cool now. A lot of people know about the riders. Not a lot of people know about the riders, I should say, but but some of them still believe in the folklore. Which, since I'm now Japanese, they're going to think to themselves, "Oh hell, oh hell yeah! Whoa, we gotta make big money now." Something like that. I can't say something. I don't know how to speak in Japanese, but at the same time, any Japanese fans, don't get offended. No offense. I'm technically I have 1% China blood within me, so a little bit cool. But anyway, so that's a terrible excuse, by the way. I'm sorry. Still, please forgive me. But I basically am using, my sword and shield when I find this young man, this kid having his arms crossed, and basically protecting some, whatever his face was. I actually don't. But anyway, while protecting him, there's this man who can shoot explosions. And this is when he says, "Deku, don't you understand this? You're a quirkless person. You have no right to talk. Why don't you just, back away before we hurt you?" And this is when the young man says, "No, I'm not. I'm going to be a hero." And basically, the blonde-haired boy says, "Oh, is that so? He's going to be a hero. So I guess we'll play heroes and villains. We'll be the villains, you can be the hero. And if you lose, you could stop thinking about being a hero. And this is when I think to myself, honor, justice, happiness, torture, killing all of them, suffering, mad extinction. No. I actually just run up to them and basically smack the young kid with the blonde hair on his head with a freaking stick. And this is when he kind of just collapses on the thing, is kind of dazed for a while. And then this is when I say, hey, you guys, hello, my name is Ivan, and I would like for you to, by the way, I'm speaking Japanese, but I don't know it yet, so it's kind of weird at first. So the fact that I understand him, and even though I know he's speaking Japanese, just basically is like, oh yeah, so now I know how to speak a different language. Neat. Basically, after all that, he just basically I just tell Deku and the other kid just to run with me, because, yeah. And not only that, I'm actually, all of you guys that are going to be watching it, just comment down what girl you would like, and then I'll put down a poll, and 100% listen to what you guys say, even though I'm sometimes biased about this and not even listen to you guys. I still should respect your decisions. And, yeah. So, I basically talk to the two people. And then I say, what is your name? He says, my name is Deku, and I want to be a hero. And this is when the other guy says something else. But he runs off. You know why? Because I don't know who he is. I don't want to deal with him, actually. So yeah, it's all pretty good. It works out for me. It works out just for me. Not for anyone else, just for me. It's my convenience. So then I talk to him and say, oh, well, that's cool. Well, I am basically, I'm me. And this is when he says, alright, so what do you do? And I say, I do swordsmanship, practicing. I like using weapons and shields and all that good stuff. And this is when Deku says, nice, I like heroes and stuff. And then I say, what heroes do you like? I don't know too much about them due to the fact that I basically say I don't have a TV where I'm at. Not only that, I usually, I'm secluded to myself and I don't know what I like these days because I'm a weirdo who basically was time traveling with this weird man in flames and a skeleton and a baby that's purple on his back. Anyway, that's nothing like that. And I basically just tell him, yeah, I don't know who heroes are in general, so if he can help me. And this is when he says, oh, sure. Heroes are basically these people with quirks that have the ability to do, to help out and, protect us from the bad guys, from angry villains, and they save people and they make them happy and all that stuff. Then I say, wow, okay, a lot of information, but yeah, okay, that's good to hear. And this is when he says, well, if you don't mind me asking you, what is your quirk? And I say, my what? Yeah, what is your quirk? Don't you have a power or something like that? Or a quirk? And I realize, what should I say? And I say, then I realize something. I have something called golden and black flames. And like I said, Ryan, I am going to do the flames, the colorful flames. I'm just going to do first this set, which you actually recommended. So shout out to Ryan Schultz. Anyway, also Ace for actually helping out a little bit and a little bit of. Anyway, I'm talking too much about different things. So I talk to him, and I say, well, I have golden and black flames. And he's like, wait, what's that? And this is when I say, let me just show you. This is when I basically just, in the palm of my hand, start spewing out golden flames. It's so colorful. Well, for gold, at least, it's colorful. And it's so shiny. And it looks nice and it looks peaceful. And basically I shoot out a little bit of my black flames in the palms of my hands, and basically it shows this darkness, but it looks more calmer than the golden flames. It looks like it's just going everywhere, but the black ones are just, how would I say this? It's as if it's concentrated, as if it's more elusive, and it looks so beautiful in their own ways. And basically he's like, that is so cool. Let me just get my notebook, which for some reason he just whips out. It's magical Deku, to be honest. He has his quirk is basically using his journal and crying a lot. So basically he has a water quirk. Anyway, he looks around and basically is writing everything down. And this is when he says, so what can you do? And I say, I don't know, to be honest. I never learned how to use these things. I don't know what to do. To be honest, I know what I could do, but at the same time, I don't want to lie. I don't want to just tell him this. And he's like, so how'd you know? And then basically he presses on, and then I would have to possibly reveal who I am. And which will basically be, it's a bad idea. It's a bad idea. So I just say, well, I don't know, to be honest, but one day I'll learn how to use it. And he says, cool, that's nice. So, wait a minute, what school do you go to? That's when I tell him, I am an orphan. I don't have a mommy or daddy. I'm just gonna say, I don't have a mother or father. And this is when Deku says, wait, you don't have a mom or a dad? And I say, no, I don't. My mother and father died a while back. My mother was a sickly woman who cared for us very deeply. My father was a construction worker. He was the best in town until he died. So, yeah, it's not good. It's not a good thing. It's not happy. How would I say this? I'm not happy about it, but at the same time, as long as they're okay, or at least, seeing me up in heaven, I'll be okay with that. As long as they're there, I'll be more than happy. And basically, he starts crying a bit. I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, why are you crying? This is when he says, this is so beautiful. You have such a bad life. I'm like, yeah, I do have such a bad life, but it's not so... Why? Fudge! And then this is when I'm like, oh, fudge, there, it's alright, let's go do something right now. And basically, Bakugo starts to wake up, and then I peer my head over there, and I see that, and I decide, hey, why don't we just go to your house for a while? And then he says, that's a good idea. And basically, that's all that happens right now. But the story isn't going to end. So after that, after years and years of basically a year later, we become good friends. We become decent friends, honest friends, compassionate. Something along the lines of just good friends. I really don't know. We treat each other as if we were just family. We treat each other with at least the love and respect that one another gives towards each other. But I actually get adopted. At least for a while. Yeah, not for a while. I get adopted by two people. Basically, one is a farmer and the other one's just a wife. And these basically parents are just going to be called mom and dad. And then this is when I say, hi, who are you? It says, and basically says, yeah, hi, my name is such and such, and her name is such and stuff, and we're going to be your family now. And I'm like, well, at least it's better than nothing. And it says, well, I'm a farmer, and this is my wife. She's a housewife. So we never actually had kids, and due to work and such, I'm not able to have kids for a while. But one day I will. And this is when I find out. Oh, guess it's just because of the fact that he has a lot more work to do. So banging is not a part of this. He can't bang right now. So after that, I basically am imparted to the family, and this is when I say, "Oh, nice," and all that stuff. But I say if we can go back to the orphanage one last time, and they say sure, and it's all right. This is when I basically grab my stuff, my sword, my wooden sword, and my shield. And he's like, "Does this kind of a sword and a shield?" Yes, he likes to have those around him at times. Oh, look at that! We got ourselves a little Prince Charming over here. That's nice. And this is like, oh, look at that! He's going to be a good hero one day. I hope so. Or that he can work with me in the ranch, which he's going to do either way. He's like, come on. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He'll be at least a ranch, a man of the farm at first. After that, after he goes to school and becomes, he goes to either of those fancy hero schools. We'll let him choose. We'll let him choose. Don't worry, I'm just messing with you and all that stuff. He's like, like, what do you mean? All I'm just saying is just, a little persuasion and all that stuff. So, I just say bye to everyone. At times, there's idiots in the basically the places in the freaking orphanage. There was those jerks, but at times, it's just they're fun to be with at times. But then there was that one child who was always there for him. So he ran and ran and ran, and then he ran some more. A little bit more running, closely there, and bam. He was at the house of Izuku Midoriya, the person who he cared about. So, he went up, knocked on the door, and he said, "Hello, Izuku." And he says, "Hey, Ivan, how you doing?" And I said, "I'm doing well. I got adopted." He says, "That's great. So now me and you can hang out more, and our moms will let us play." This is when I say, "Izuku, I'm sorry, but I can no longer hang out with you." And he says, "But wait, what?" "Please forgive me. I will one day be back, but not for now." This is when he says, but what about? I know. We'll be with each other one day. We're still good friends. Keep in mind, this is not going to be a me x male Deku. This is going to be a me x whoever you guys chose. I swear, if you guys choose someone I don't like, I will be a little pissy. 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 Anyway, this is when he says, "But this is not fair. Why?" And he says, "Well, I want to at least live life with the family. You always will be my friend, and basically someone endear to me. I at least want to tell you that we should meet up one day. You said that there was a school that was made for heroes." And this is when this is when I say all that stuff, and he says, "But what school are you going to?" And he says, "I'm going to UA. It's a mission of mine to help out the world." And this is when he says, but this is when I hold Izuku and just basically say, it's not going to be that bad. I am technically at least smaller than him. Or, yeah, basically smaller than him, but just because yeah, technically, I'm just at least 2 inches shorter than him. This is when I say, it's fun, and I'm glad that I met you. Let's meet again one day, like I said, when we both become heroes. Now, Izuku is going to live his life a little bit more alone, but he's much more confident in himself. Well, because of the fact that I said one day he can be a hero too. And I basically just said that I believed in him. That's what it took that. It only took that out of all the people who didn't believe him to make him who he is. So, after all that happens, I basically say, now, I want to train and get stronger. And this is when I just walked to my family, which they were running with me, but they couldn't keep up. So it was like, yeah, we were built for much more sturdiness, not running. We're not running a marathon here, people. And yeah, after a while, I am with my family, my new family, and it feels wholesome. Remember, I still remember the days of Arthur and Paul being by my side. And hopefully I will meet them. Now, there's other people around, which is technically, how would I say this? Yeah, there's not that much people around besides a maid, due to the fact that the maid is technically the aunt or the sister, but she needs a job. It's just, random people at times. Three's a crowd. But anyway, for at least since he was 5 and I'm 5, basically, for at least a good 8 years, I've been doing nothing more than my chores, my training, my power, my fighting with the sword. Not only that, with my pony, and not My Little Pony, or not Pony that uses her horns or her quirk, an actual horse. And basically, I actually have a horse with me named Jericho. And, hold on here. Anyway, golly, hold on. Sorry about that, I had to sneeze. Anyway, so, after 8 years of that, I'm more built, but not lean. I am much more flexible, but I'm much more of a heavy hitter than most. I'm faster, at least, because I've trained in speed. Not only that, I am confident in my abilities. I've been using the golden flames and the black flames for a long time, learning of their history, learning that the golden flames that I wield heal people and cause damage. And not only that, blinds my enemies, but with my black flames, it shadows places. It's more of a destructive nature. It's somewhat, I can use this to teleport or basically get away from my enemies faster by hiding in the flames. So, after all that, I've been using it for my combat training. My father, who's basically trained me into fighting, he has basically, if I can say this, a muscle quirk. So it's not muscular. Basically, he's extra strong, much more stronger than I could be, in that form at least, when it comes to muscle-bound strength. The wife trained me as well. She was basically a lot more useful because she had a fire quirk, to be honest. But her flames were just of, how would I say this? She had something along the lines of fire manipulation. She can somewhat control the flames that she has, or other flames, and use that. But at the same time, she can use it to write her name at times. Not only that, she could do it to somewhat make little pictures. That's what the thing she could do. But at the same time, she could not use the. If she had to, her flames were little, so she could throw a fireball, at least a good one if she tries hard enough. But the only way to use her power is by an outside source. So if she has more fire, she can work with much more. Basically, not only that, she could throw fireballs if she had a lot of fire with her. So by technicality, a forest fire would be her ideal thing. But the thing is, anytime she tries to manipulate my fire is much more powerful. It's as if my fires was created by gods and devils alike. And she says, that's weird though at times. It's like, the good book says. Hell and heaven are two different opposites, and that's what it looks like on your hands. And I kind of shudder a little bit, because of the whole fact of my past, I was called a heretic, a demon, a monster. And then, as well as since I'm not accepted by God anymore, due to the fact that I'm a ghostwriter, yeah, it's weird. It's a weird thing. But what I do know, how would I say this? Well, I do know this. My whole life, I am just scared of chains. The moment my father told me to grab a couple of chains to somewhat, to basically tie up some stuff, I was almost frozen in fear. And basically, it was technically on the books, reasons why, fears that he has, because, Frank already knows that Frank and basically Hushar saw what was happening to me. Well, technically, Hushar explained to him the whole situation. Frank understood, and he basically took me and, just had to, like you said, he has his know-how with him being also ex-military. He will learn how to do something eventually. So, after a while, basically, he kind of forgot, and he was like, don't worry, I'm sorry, kid. Here. And basically, the more I grew up, he basically said that I will have to face my fear one day. And I said, okay. So I'm still scared of chains, but at the same time, I'm learning to cope with it. Now, there has been times where there's some people trying to tip the cows, or much worse, trying to go inside the house, due to the fact that we will make a little bit more money. And by technicality, we're in it with the Yaoyorozu, since they will use our dairy product, or the dairy that we have, for cheeses and stuff, or milks, and basically use it for supplies for food, doing some kind of thing with the company. So by technicality, these two are good friends, and, well, all I'm just doing is just swinging a sword, and basically learning how to use, my, abilities. Now, the heavy hitter happens when the day I go into UA High. Now, when I go there, I basically, how would I say this? I'm kind of excited, because I remember the promise that I had with him. That day I saw that young boy. The day that we became really good friends. Best friends. The day he was there. I saw that freckled-faced, green-haired boy. I was about to run to him. But, how would I say this? I kind of tripped. This is when basically Uraraka helped me. And then I saw her. She was actually cute and all that stuff. But at the same time, all that mattered to me was basically, I gotta get the hell over there. But the day I was going to use my powers. Oh, don't think it was going to be the golden and black flames. Yeah, I'm going to use that, but at the same time, I'm going to use something that everyone knows I was going to use in the beginning. Powers of the Ghost Rider. Oh boy. Japan's mythical legend and famous person is back on business, baby. So, I just do my own thing, and how would I say this? Izuku sees, I see him with Bakugo, and then I'm looking at them, and I was like, oh wow, that's the young-haired kid, that's the blonde-haired kid that I hit with a stick before. I wonder how he's doing. And basically, he's just, snarling at Deku, and it's like, oh boy, old habits die hard. Not with this kid. This kid has that habit he's basically an angry Pomeranian, as far as I remembered. But, it's the same, it's Bakugo still, so, gotta be nice. Yeah, there's no way. I gotta be at least, something with him. So, after a while, after the test and all that stuff, I get ready. I was talking to everyone and moving them out of the way. Ida is talking with Deku and just saying, why are you doing this? You can't bother the people. And then I'm like, hey, person who was being a jerk a while back, and I need you to step aside. I gotta talk to this kid. It's like, I will not talk to him right now. And I'm like, sure you will. And then he's like, no, I'm not. I'm not done talking to him. Look, he's not talking to you, which means that if there's something that I know, is that you're talking to him and you're distracting him. So by technicality, all you're doing is causing a scene. And then everyone was like, yeah, he has a point, Oh, yes, awesome. Yes, I too agree with him. And this one is like, yeah, you are kind of right, so I will just be on my merry way. I'm like, fantastic. So, I look at Deku, and I give him a big hug. Almost a little bit, kind of like crushing him. And he's kind of like, having his spirit come out of him. But I just grabbed it and was like, just, I just pushed it back. And said, just freaking, is he on now? Is he on? And basically he just booted up again, saying hi and all that stuff. Basically I said, how you been, Izuku? And this is when he says, I'm doing well. Here's the thing. Over the past, he's been training with All Might. Not only that, because of what I've been helping him with, he's learned to start using weapons. And he actually awakened his quirk, which was energy manipulation. A certain kind of energy manipulation, where he could pass on his energy to other inanimate objects and all that stuff. Not only that, with energy manipulation, he basically has the ability of powering up his fist, his legs, and all that stuff. All of his stuff to its maximum. But he's got to have a power source within him, or eat a lot, which he has a one for all for. So by technicality, he has the ability to make his sword, or any weapon that he has, stronger, and much more powerful. So it works out in the very end for at least both of us. Not only that, my weapon of choice is basically a longsword, and a longsword. And which sword is it going to be? I don't know, to be honest. I was going with either bleach weaponry, or possibly, how would I say this? Bleach weaponry. Let's see. the swords of the blades of chaos, or the Leviathan axe, something along those lines of like mythical yet kind of like the realm of human or something like that. I don't know. I was going with whatever. You guys comment down below what weapon I should use, or what weapon do you think I would like, to be honest, because, you know, I'd like to hear your opinion. So, anyway, not only that, Bakugo has gotten a bigger hatred for him in a way, due to the fact that not only is he not listening to him, not only is he just having his own voice, but the fact that nothing is affecting him anymore, like he used to do back then. So he hates it. But I think it's pretty good. I like the fact that he stood up for himself. Not only that, there's 2 other people that are going to join, that are going to be in my little gang, but we'll introduce them later. So, first off comes the 3, 2, 1, go. And I start basically just running places, and basically just using my flames all around my body, jumping up and just moving around places, just teleporting actually, and just shooting out the golden flames within their stomachs, and just using that kind of control to basically explode them. Not only that, I'm using my black flames somewhat burn their legs faster and melt them. Not only that, with my ability to control them, I can basically create sparks within other robots, which is basically exploding them upon impact. So my ability is just covered right there. With Deku, he basically grabbed a pipe and just used that as basically slamming everything. Not only that, he's learned how to use at least a 6% full cal, and not only that, with his ability to somewhat, divvy up his energy to different inanimate objects, he's actually made it stronger and at least durable enough to be used much more and at powerful, use with much more force. So with all that stuff happening, my character, basically, I'm just happy for him. Bakugo's, somewhere else, so it's not as much as I care about it. So, after all that stuff, I'm basically just destroying things right now. Just causing mass devastation. Just burning up stuff. Until basically the whole Uraraka thing happens. And boy, am I not going to let this happen. So, I basically just see Uraraka in pain. And then I'm just running. And then I see this one pointer, and I'm thinking to myself, well, I can use any other vehicle, so it's not that big of a difference. So basically, I basically break a hole in there, and how would I say this? I basically use one of the robots and get inside there to actually use my Ghost Rider abilities. And for some reason, everything is just all hellish-like, and it's awesome and all that stuff. So imagine basically a 1-pointer with a skeleton for a face, and not only that, fire coming around it. And everyone starts looking at this thing. And they're like, oh boy, what is that? What is that I see? Oh boy, that can't be. People are like, awesome, because like I said, some people believe it, some people don't, but, everyone has their own thing until they see the real thing live. I turn into the Ghost Rider. And basically, after a while, I just go I just get up, my robot gets up, and it starts running, grabbing Uraraka, and I get out of there. Basically commanding the robot to just run away with her. And there was wires stuck to me, but those wires were used as rope. And I got this fear, and I looked at it, and I started reverting back. But then, I basically felt like I was pushed to doing it, and it was controlling me thing was, it basically when I used my when I used the Ghost Rider ability, it burned me to my core because I wasn't fully a Ghost Rider yet. So the fires was burning, and I felt like I was insane for a while. So I'm not going to use the voice right now, the Ghost Rider voice. So I'm just going to say, "You're going to die for everything. You're going to suffer." Or I'm at least going to destroy you and dismantle you for my own personal gain. And this is when the robot was about to grab me, but Deku just freaking slammed his hand down, and he says, "Hey, Ivan, are you okay?" And I said, "Yes." And he says, "Well, are you the Ghost Rider? You're the Ghost Rider?" And I'm like, "Yes, I am the Ghost Rider. I guess it chose me this time." He's like, "That's so cool." And I say, "Yes, it is. But it's time for us to destroy this thing." And we just basically start running up towards it. And this is when I just basically keep teleporting from different directions and started causing fire to, to erupt from there. And basically Deku just keeps, climbing up, slamming things that are trying to get him down, and basically climbing up there. So, this is when, after a while, we just get to the head and just basically burn it / destroy it with maximum effort. And all you just see is this tornado of flames just going around. And then it's just the Ghost Rider and Izuku Midoriya just destroying this thing. Almost felt like a cataclysmic event just happened, where a fiery tornado bursted out of the Zero Pointer's head, and all you see is basically a happy Nezu wiggling his little puffy tail. Basically, basically All Might saying, "Huh, this can't be. This is the first time I ever heard of it. I knew that there was going to be someone like this, and he exists. It's the actual Ghost Rider. Ha ha ha. I am actually happy for this." And I'm like, "Wait a minute, All Might, you knew that you thought about the legends being true?" "I was always a fan of that. I am glad that this is actually a real thing. Hopefully hopefully the two boys are going to be good friends, which we already are. So we're tight. Not in that. Hold on here, Lasto. If you're hearing this, it's not what it means. Just telling you that. Me and him are good friends. We're close with one another, and basically that's it." Now, we go home, we talk for a while. I call my mother and father and just tell them that I met my childhood friend. We're going to talk. And basically, I talk to him and I explain everything. He's so happy about this. And then I say, "Hey, Zuku, it's been good seeing you, but I gotta go home." And basically, I say, "Hopefully we go to UA." And he says, "Yes." We get our stuff from the mail. And then basically the next day, the couple of times we meet, I tell them what actually happened. And yeah, that's weird. So, I'm going to leave it off here. Not only that, so there's a couple of things I want you to comment on. Who do you think I should go for? Not only that, which weapons do you think I should use? Not only that, also, what animal do you think I should ride? A bull? A horse? A bison? Or basically a vehicle? Basically, you could choose between a four-wheeler, a bicycle, a motorcycle, roller skates. Yeah, those are the only vehicles that I could ride. And yeah, basically, those are 3 animals that I could ride. that will frequently ride. Not only that, who should I go out with? What weapons should I use? And pretty much also, what do you think of that? How Deku would feel that what I'm going to tell him. Anyway, like, comment, do subscribe to the channel here, people. This has been the Fallout with a Fear. Bye.